यार तो आज हम ना ये वाला प्रोजेक्ट बनाएंगे। इसमें ज़्यादा कुछ काम नहीं है। ये एक सिंपल HTML CSS और वनीला जावास्क्रिप्ट बेस्ड प्रोजेक्ट है। इसमें हम API यूज़ करना, async, await एंड ट्राई कैच ब्लॉक्स के बारे में सीखेंगे। सो इन दिस प्रोजेक्ट basically I am calling the API which is returning doc facts to me, and whenever I click it, GIF is loaded every time and then the fact shows up. So, and one more point which will I will teach you today is how to place an icon like this in the tab of your title bar. चलो फिर शुरू करते हैं। चलो भाई फिर शुरू करते हैं। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल हम एक गिट रिपोजिटरी बना लेते हैं जिसमें सारा प्रोजेक्ट सेव रहेगा। देन विंडोज R CMD स्टार्ट MSH, ये होता है डेवलपर वे ऑफ ओपनिंग ब्राउजर। नाउ github.com, right, making the repository public. Let's name it as Lokesh fact. Get it. All right, the repository is made now. Now let's add a readme file to it as well. Lokesh facts, commit changes, commit change, and yeah, our GitHub repository is made now. Moving on. Now let's make a folder here, cd desktop. Okay. Let's make a directory of name Dogesh facts. Dogesh facts. Alright. And cd Dogesh facts. Let's clone it. Git. Let's open this on VS Code. Code space dot. This will automatically opens the directory in the VS Code. But it is open. Opening the terminal. Control tilt, and terminal is ready. नाउ अब हम क्या करेंगे, गिट को क्लोन, इस प्रोजेक्ट को क्लोन कर लेते हैं। सो इधर जाएंगे हम मेन पेज ऑफ प्रोजेक्ट पे। यहाँ पे कोड बटन होता है, इसमें आपको HTTPS का एक लिंक मिलता है, इसको आप कॉपी कर लो एंड इधर जाओ गिट क्लोन एंड कंट्रोल भी करके पेस्ट कर दो। इससे क्या होगी, हमारी जो रेपोजिटरी है यहाँ पे आ जाएगी ये रही। तो हमारे पास वो रेपोजिटरी आ गई रीडमी की। ऑलराइट, इसमें हम शिफ्ट हो जाते हैं CD Yogesh facts एंड यस। अब यार मैं तुम्हें एक नई चीज़ सिखाऊंगा। आज हम ये भी सीख जाते हैं कि हम टर्मिनल के हेल्प से कोई फाइल कैसे बनाएं, रेदर देन यहाँ पे जाके हमेशा एक बार क्लिक करके और फाइल बनाने से। तो यहाँ पे लिखो टच, टर्मिनल में टच इंडेक्स डॉट HTML बन गई, टच स्टाइल डॉट CSS बन गई, टच स्क्रिप्ट डॉट JS बन गई। TIR एसेट्स भी बना लेते हैं, एक बन गए, हमारी फाइल रेडी है। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल चलो HTML से शुरू करते हैं। HTML में हमने बॉयलर प्लेट कोड लिख लिया। यहाँ पे लिखते हैं टाइटल में हेडमेट डोगेश फैक्ट्स, ठीक है। इसे लिंक कर लेते हैं हमारी स्टाइल शीट से एंड इसको स्क्रिप्ट दे देते हैं, स्क्रिप्ट सोर्स हमारी स्क्रिप्ट। ऑलराइट, इसको एक बार ही रन करा के देखते हैं, एक हेडर बनाते हैं, हेडर with heading with class header. Perfect. Give it a heading h1 and top facts. Done. Let's see how it looks. All right, coming back here, I will make another div of class main, in which this will be another div of class container. In this I will make another div of fact div. This will go welcome. All right, it's almost completed, and one more button I want after outside the container but inside the main block. I will make it a button and give it a text of get fact. Perfect. Let's also provide it some classes. Class is get fact button. One more class of btn button. Let's give it an id as well. Get fact id, get fact button id. All right, super. Let's give it an id as well. Fact div id. All right. Now let's do the styling of this sheet. First of all, give a padding and give the root element margin 0, padding 0. राइट, अब इसमें कोई पैडिंग और मार्जिन इनहेरेंटली नहीं आएगी, हमें खुद से प्रोवाइड करनी पड़ेगी. हम HTML और बॉडी को 100% हाइट दे देते हैं, जिससे अनएक्सपेक्टेडली चीज़ें सही रहे अपने प्लेस पे. एंड लेट्स गिव दिस क्लास हेडर this one, this class header, some styling as well. Min height 10, viewport height. Let's give it a background color of sky blue. Yeah. All right. I want this doc facts to be placed in the middle of the header. So for doing so, let's give it a display of flex, right, and a line item center. This will vertically center the heading here. Now to center it horizontally as well, let's give justify content center property as well. Done. Now let's focus ourselves on the container block and the button part. So in the main, yeah, that is main container and the fact div part. Fact div. Right. In the main, let's give it yeah, let's give it a margin from the top, of 20, viewport height. Nice. And let's give the container a border of 2 pixels solid black and a border radius of 1 rem. All right, let's give it min and max height as well. Min height of 10 rem, max height of 15 rem. Doesn't matter. Min width of 50 rem. Viewport height, viewport width, max width of 50 viewport width. Alright, now let's place this container in the middle of the main container. So in order to do so, we have to change its display to flex and justify content center. Wait. In order to these two elements to be in vertical alignment, I have to give it a flex direction of column. Then, yes, otherwise it would be placed here if I give it rather rationally, irrationally. Now let's place these align items since it is column alignment. Then to place it at the center horizontally, I have to align center. Yes, and right. The fact. Let's give the container the display of flex as well, and place the text in the middle of it. So justify content center. Super. Let's give it a padding as well. Padding of, let's say, 3 rem. Great. And a background color as well. Background color, I have chosen it as FO. FO, FO. It is hex value, so don't forget to prefix it with the hashtag. Right. Let's increase its font size. So font size X large would be sufficient. Yes, X large is sufficient. Now, let's give it a margin between the button and the container. In order to do so, let's start with the button styling. Its class was btn, I think, and let's give it a margin, from the top 3 rem. Yeah, that would be good. Let's give it a background color red. Nah, that looks so awful. Let's give it a padding first. Let's give it a padding of 1 rem. Okay, border radius 1 rem. How it is? Too much curvy. 0.5 rem. That would suffice. Let's make the font weight bolder. Yeah, nice. What about a background color of orange? As this would be in contrast with the sky blue, which I have chosen for the header. It looks good to me, yes, I think. But the button is still looks very uninteractive. So in order to make it interactive, let's first hide that comment. All right. In order to make it interactive, let's add cursor to the pointer value. All right. Something more as well. How about whenever I hover over it, there's a slight drop in the brightness. In order to achieve that, filter brightness 95%, which means that if the original brightness is 100%, when I hover over it, it gets reduced by 5%. So how now? I don't think so. It looks good even now. So one more thing. Whenever I click over it, active, its size gets reduced by 5%. So transform scale 0.95. Same logic here as well. Alright, it looks pretty much interactive now. One last thing I would like to do is to give the font family to Gill Sans would be nice. Yes. Alright. It's almost done. Or styling part, that is. Now let us focus our mind on the scripting part or the logical part that is concerned with the JavaScript. So let's come here in the script.js. Here I have already chosen an API, which is this, I guess. Yeah, this is the API link. I will provide in the description so you don't have to worry about it, and all the assets as well, which I will going to use in this project. Okay, now let's select the element. Now I want whenever I click a button, the fact that is responded by the API and returned by the API is presented here in the container box in place of the welcome text. So let's first remove it and copy its ID here. Let's make fact div is equals to document dot get element by ID, right? And let's enter the ID here. For the more const, let's uh, fetch the button as well. It's the button ID that const get fact button is equals to document dot get element by ID, and here's its ID. All right. Now what I want is whenever I click on the get fact button to so add event listener click. Whenever I click on the get fact button, a function gets started or is called. Let's make the function get fact function is equals to this. Right. It is called whenever I click the get fact button. And what will it do? Let's make it an asynchronous function. Right. Now, whenever I click in the button, let get the response from the API. So let response equals to fetch URL. Wait. URL. Nice. Since it is asynchronous programming, let's get a wait. So here it will return a promise which is stored in the response. Now from this promise, we have to fetch the data in the JSON format. So how can we do it? Let data is equals to response dot JSON, that is JavaScript object or notation JSON, and since it is also in the asynchronous part, await. All right. Now let's console dot log data. All right. Let's see if it is working. Yeah, it is working. Here is the response from it. Let's see what the API is returning on making its request. So here is a data key and it has a value of array. So our data is returning a data. So let's get all right. So data is has a value of array which has one and two elements in it. In the first element, it has attributes in which there is a body key which has our fact. So the first element of the data array, here it is. In it, we have to retrieve the attributes part dot attributes dot body. I guess this would return a fact. Yes, as you can see, three facts are written on three click. Now we have to display these fact in the container part, container div. So in order to do that, let's fact div dot inner text, not in HTML, inner text, change to this part. All right. Yeah, as you can see, whenever I click, a new fact is getting retrieved. Let's refresh it and check it again. Yes. So 90% of our project is completed as at this point. One more thing I would like to add in this, see, whenever we use the asynchronous function, the best practice is to write all the code lines in the try catch block. So in any case of error, in it can be API error, or it can be the client error. So the whole process is not stuck at some point. So let's try to place our code in the try catch block. So write try catch here and write all these code lines in the try block. Let's remove it from here. Right. And in the error, like if there would be an error, then console.error, error fetching dog facts and the error itself. Then fact dev dot style. Let's show something here also in the container box. Let's make it red, and then fact dot text content. You can write in a HTML as well, it doesn't matter. There is an unexpected error. Alright, here it is. Not it is working as expected, but let's fiddle with our API a little bit. Now let's see what happens. Yeah, let's see the console as well. Yes, our error message is getting here. All right. Now here, what we're doing. Yeah, but in order to prevent any unexpected event, let's also give after every correct execution, correcting the link as it was before, fact dot style dot color is equals to black again. In any case where there was an error and then the error was debugged by the developers and the API is back again, then it should not print the fact in the red color. Alright, working as expected. Now let's add a loading GIF as well, that whenever I press the fact button, a GIF is loaded for 2 to 3 seconds and then the fact is presented on the container div. It is very easy, right? Let all right. Let image source. Okay. Loading. Dot dot dot. Yeah, so I have selected the GIF, loading GIF, and icon for the tab for our project. Now coming back to the index HTML, here in the image tag, let's add the source of the loading GIF dot assets, GIF name, and save. Let's give it an ID, loading GIF ID. I think we are done. And here, what about when we click the fact? All right. Now let's do the styling part for the GIF. Let's copy its ID. Find in the style, the CSS, GIF, hashtag, ID name. Let's give it a height of 10 rem, width of 10 rem as well, and border radius of 50%. Right, and let's put its display to none. Great. Now I want whenever I click the fact button, the GIF is loaded first and then the fact is retrieved. So coming in the script.js, let's first select the component. Let loading GIF is equals to document dot get element by ID, its ID, right? Then let's make a function of show loading GIF, which would return a promise. In this promise, the loading GIF is selected and its style is put back to display block. And whenever I click the button, this function is called. So try await show loading GIF. Right, let's see. Okay, now I have to put back its display to none after 3 seconds. So let's set timeout of 2 seconds. Here I will wait resolve, and after 2 seconds this promise is resolved, and running here after 2 seconds that display is put back to none. Right, let's see. Yes, I want when the GIF is loaded, the text disappears. So whenever the GIF is loaded, I can do whenever the button is clicked, I can do one thing: fact div dot inner HTML inner text to none. Right. Yes, working properly. One more thing I would like to add is the icon here on the tab in the title bar. Like GitHub has its icon, I also want to add a icon in my tab whenever the index.html is loaded in the browser. So how can I do so? It's very simple. Go to the index.html. In the head tag, you just have to add a link with a relation to icon, and that's it. Give the path of the png image or the svg image you want to add as the icon here for to png. Save it and let's see. Here it is. As I think you can see it. So that was all the project. I hope you like the explanation. If there is any doubt you may face or any difficulty you are facing when doing it in your machine at or at your part, you can always भाई मेरे से तो बात कर ही सकते हो. मैं अपना टेलीग्राम भी दे दूंगा जिससे आप मेरे से बात कर सको, एंड वहाँ पे मेरे से डाउट डिस्कस कर सकते हो आप. बाकी जो भी कुछ एसेट की होगी मैं उसको डिस्क्रिप्शन में डाल दूंगा. मैं ये गिटहब की रेपोजिटरी लिंक भी डिस्क्रिप्शन में डाल दूंगा, वहां से आप इस प्रोजेक्ट को भी देख सकते हो. दैट्स ऑल फॉर द डे एंड हैप्पी लर्निंग भाइयों.